Is XRP Plus the XRP killer? Should we be worried about our XRP investments? The answer is so. It seems like the whole world, or the whole XRP world, has been going absolutely crazy over this XRP Plus stuff. And I wanted to clarify everything, give my honest thoughts, and kind of break everything down in its simplest form so that you can go out into the world, and if you see FUD coming out, you can combat that FUD. Or if you see truth being talked about on Twitter or all over or anywhere else online, you'll be able to validate that truth and confirm. These are all skills that are really important in cryptocurrency to understand really truly what's happening. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And you know, what's interesting about this channel is that the whole reason this channel started was so I could basically explain all the things that were happening in crypto to my friends and family without having to say it to each individual person every single time. And over time, the tone changes in the delivery of content. Sometimes it's more like show format, and then sometimes it's me talking freely. I've just felt recently, we need to return back to where it was. We need to talk like I'm talking to my friends, just to explain something. Because I think actually that's where I do the best job. So first of all, what is XRP Plus? Well, it's the native asset on the Zahao network, which is its own blockchain. And I'm not entirely sure how to say it, but it's X-A-H-A-U, Zahao, that's how I'm going to go with it. And it's essentially a copy and paste of the XRP ledger. The initial thought, or me saying that it's a copy of the XRP ledger, will probably strike the fear into your bones of anyone watching this, but really it's kind of more innocent than that. So when you copy and paste a blockchain, that's called a fork. Let's say you've got Bitcoin and then you create a fork, you copy and paste Bitcoin and you create another one, you call it something different. That is a fork. Forks, for the most part, or at least in one of the ways, operate entirely separately to the mainnet. When we talk about mainnet, that's the original blockchain. But you'll find that forks get made, like for example, the Zinfin network is just a fork, a copy and paste of Ethereum, but it operates completely separately. This not only is a fork, a copy and paste, but it's also a side chain. Now, side chains are essentially kind of sub-blockchains that are made underneath a bigger blockchain. So when you put it like that, the two have to be connected in that instance. But when you've got a fork, so a copy and paste, it's separate, but it has side chain functionality. So they're actually connected. Two separate blockchains that are just copy and paste of each other, but they are still connected. So that blows the first thing out the water. Is XRP Plus a competitor to XRP? Not really, because they actually are using that cross-chain functionality. They are connected, even though they're two separate blockchains. And how they're connected is something called hooks. Now, hooks was an amendment on the XRP ledger that essentially allows this to happen, right? It allows a sidechain to be created. So imagine you got the Zahao network, and that has a hook at the end of it, and it kind of just latches on to the normal XRP ledger. The great thing is about these side chains is that you can customize them, right? This is super important because customizing in the Zahao network realm means that actually adding features to this pasted version that the original, the mainnet, the main blockchain doesn't have. For example, smart contracts. So the XRP ledger doesn't have native smart contracts. However, through this hook, this sidechain, this fork in Zahao network, they are adding smart contracts. There's a whole bunch of other things that they've changed, like their supply of tokens, the transaction fee, the transaction speed. These are all things that are different in the Zahao network. Now, the reason this is all getting very confusing, and again, really poor choice of naming, potentially. They've called the native asset on the Zahao network XRP Plus. Obviously, that hits the masses, and the masses look at that and go, oh, it's a better XRP, it's a competitor to XRP. I completely see the logic behind that thought process. And I just wish they wouldn't name things like this because it does add a level of confusion. However, if you are Zahao and you want to get some attention, you're going to call the asset on there XRP Plus, because that gets all the attention. Look at all the attention it's got already. And it's not all bad news for them to call it XRP Plus, and we're going to get into that now. So one of the main things that is introduced with the Zahao network and XRP Plus is the burn to mint feature. This obviously doesn't exist on the XRP ledger, so let me explain what this is. Essentially, in order to issue to mint new tokens, XRP plus tokens on this Zahao network, you actually have to burn XRP tokens. So how does this look? Well, I want 10 XRP plus tokens. I use their hook system, whatever it is. It might be a user interface, and I link my wallet on the XRP ledger, and I say, I want 10 XRP plus tokens. As soon as I click send and I verify that transaction, the sidechain, or the way it's connected, the hook, automatically burns all 10 of my XRP tokens, completely erasing them, deleting those tokens. That's quite scary. And in return, you get XRP plus tokens. Now, there are only 600 million XRP plus tokens. So the tokenomics, don't really quite understand. We have to stay tuned with all of this. But does that mean that there is a limit of 600 million XRP that can be burnt in total to convert to XRP plus? I don't know. I don't know the issuance style of XRP plus. All I know is that at launch, there will be 600 million XRP plus tokens. So some of the bigger questions that I had about this was, well, how is it that a separate blockchain, albeit connected by hooks, can have such power to completely delete XRP tokens? It was my assumption, and obviously I don't code and I'm not a developer and I don't know the XRPL inside out, but I thought that the idea of, let's say, raising burn rates or burning a whole bunch of tokens, I thought that had to be voted on by validators of the XRP ledger. This is separate, and it's almost like a separate entity burning the tokens. And I thought, how is that possible? What if we haven't signed an amendment, we haven't voted on that? Like, how is that possible? And the answer, I believe, just logically thinking about this process, was, well, you get that interface where you're trying to convert your, let's say it's a DEX, you're trying to convert your XRP to XRP plus. You will sign to say, I want XRP plus, and acknowledge that my XRP will be burnt. Very interesting, right? So that you kind of combat the whole need to verify and vote on burn rates with this sidechain structure. But ultimately, if we think about it, if there is a limit of 600 million XRP plus tokens and only 600 million XRP can be burnt, that's kind of good. I mean, if you think about XRP, the whole thing about the price is supply and demand, right? If you're reducing the supply by completely burning 600 million tokens, that can only be positive for the price. And if you think about it like this as well, the burn rate on XRP tokens for every transaction is ridiculously small. This is magnitudes higher of a burn rate for 600 million tokens. Let's do some numbers on this, right? There are 1 million drops in 1 XRP. Now let me put this into perspective, okay? On the XRP ledger, in order to burn 600 million XRP tokens, you would have to do 60 trillion transactions just to burn 10 drops per transaction to burn in total 600 million XRP. With XRP Plus on the Zahao network with this burn to mint process, if you had 600 million XRP, you could burn all 600 million in one transaction. There isn't even a number to calculate how many magnitudes faster it is to burn tokens using the Zahao network and XRP Plus. That conversion, that burn to mint process, exponentially increases the burn rate of XRP. So my question is, would you want 600 million XRP burnt on just in the process of converting to XRP Plus, or would you rather wait for 600 trillion transactions on the XRP ledger? Because whichever one happens first means the price of XRP would increase quicker. The XRP ledger does about 1.07 million transactions per day. And that's obviously a little bit more now, and it was obviously way less at the beginning. But the XRP ledger has existed as of today for 4,000 days. So if you times that 1 million by 4,000, that means 4,300,000,000 transactions have ever happened on the XRP ledger. And to put it into perspective even more, the amount of transactions that have already happened on the XRP ledger in its entirety is 0.71% of the transactions required to burn 600 million XRP. Madness. So I've seen many other people talking about XRP Plus as essentially being this testing ground. Not a test net, but more of like a, let's take the actual code, let's put it in a public environment, let's add some features, let's test it out, and see if we can break it, basically. See see how much we can add to it before we break it. It's almost like a public playground for developers to test out their ideas and build essentially on the XRP ledger. But I don't know if this makes any sense to anyone, but you have Minecraft, for example, and then you have like Auto Terra Firma Craft, which is like a more detailed version of Minecraft. It's not quite Minecraft anymore. They've added new characters into it, the new mechanics, different ways of moving objects and machinery and all kind of stuff that isn't in the original game, but allows like people to create modifications within the game to test out the limits of their abilities and see ultimately if any of these features that they put in the new game into the original game to make it even better. That's very much how I'm looking at XRP Plus and the Zahal network. But I also view it as a very, very positive thing, because the more attention that Auto Terra Firma Craft or XRP Plus gets, more attention is driven to XRP. Now, I don't believe they're going to compete at all, because it just doesn't make sense for them to even be in the same realm as competing. The use of the XRP-L, especially getting the ball rolling, comes down to the partnerships made by Ripple over the last 12 years. You can't just copy and paste a blockchain and the trust built on the original blockchain for that to be transferred to the new blockchain. You can't actually do that. The new blockchain would have to go through all of the years of testing, all of the years of partnership, all of the years of building relationships and partnerships. You have to stress test it like XRP has been tested over the years. And so with that in mind, the XRPL is still 12 years ahead of the Zahal network. Zahal network has to put 12 more years in to even reach the same level as the XRPL. Even if it has new features, it still has to go through all of that testing. Ultimately, I just don't think there's really any way that XRP Plus or Zahal network can outgrow XRP. And remember, this is a sidechain. It's linked to the XRP ledger. It's not just a fork, it's also linked. And so seeing how these things go in a public environment with XRP Plus could be exactly what is needed for the original XRP ledger to add features and utility to the ledger based on the information and the experience provided from Zahal network. So am I buying XRP Plus? No. Am I going to burn some XRP to get XRP Plus? No. They're not in competition. One is helping the other. One's the big dog and one's the sandpit for the kids. XRP Plus will not be the XRP killer, and you should not be worried about your XRP bags. I really hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back again tomorrow with more information. Stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.